Conor is no stranger to taking on a challenge or two, but for this video, we've given him a big one. Although, having said that, he does seem quite up for it. Anyway, we've asked Conor to take on the Tour de France eating challenge. Can he eat what a pro cyclist eats during a day at the Tour de France?
So basically, I'm going to be sticking to the average diet of a Tour de France rider. And we're basing this on a 70 kilogram rider who would consume on average around 6,700 to 7,000 calories per day at the Tour de France, which is a whopping amount. And we have to say a big thank you to Enovit and Trek-Segafredo nutritionist Scheirlynck for providing the food plan for me today. And I'm interested to see if I can actually stick to it, because I'm going to try and consume everything that's on this list. And I tell you what, it's a long list.
Right, time for breakfast. And this morning, I'm going to be breakfasting like a champion, like the Tour champion that I am. In my dreams, anyway. But anyway, forget that. On the menu today, I have 2 pancakes with maple syrup, a bowl of porridge with honey, 2 eggs and 2 slices of toast. That's what's on the menu, and it's going to be the largest sit-down meal of the day actually, at 1,350 calories. So it's going to set me up for the day, get me ready for a big day's racing, and whoa, I tell you what, I'm hungry by now. So without further ado, time to crack into it. It's nice doing this in my own home. Normally you'd be fighting to get the food at the buffet. Wow. That's breakfast done anyway. It's really tasty, actually, enjoyed that. But it did remind me how much food you actually eat in the morning when you're at a race. Anyway, right, quickly, before I do head off to my race, I do need to get a bit of coffee into me. I think my biggest fear when I was racing was getting caught short in the race and needing to go to the toilet, and coffee did help things along in the mornings, so bottoms up. Not literally.
So I am on the bus, or the tractor, as you may have noticed, because I don't have a team bus to take me to the start. I used to, but since I've joined GCN, this is what I have, so making the most of it. And on the bus, most Tour de France riders would have a banana, and that's what's in my menu plan today. A banana. 105 calories, just to keep the sugar levels topped up, keep the energy going to the muscles. And I am waiting for brother-in-law Nigel to take me to the start of my race today. He's not turned up yet, so I'm hoping I'm not going to be late. Nigel, come on now. Right, I'm at the start line of the Tour de France stage, but I am thinking about the nutrition that I'm going to be consuming today, because it is a whopping amount. It's 2,588 calories that I've got to get in during today's race. And we're presuming that the race is going to be around 4 hours long. So the menu for that would be 2 bottles of isotonic sports drink per hour, and also 2 portions of nutrition per hour. So that could be anything like a rice cake, a bit of brioche, an energy bar, or a gel. And I'm also going to have to consume 2 caffeine gels in the finale, just to make sure that I take the win. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've got so much food, I've had to bring with me a musette to carry it all, just to get it down. It's like a food bag, this. It's heavy. And it is going to be the largest portion of food during today. So much food, more than any of the sit-down meals. So better get cracking. Time to get the food in. 2 portions per hour. So what should I go for? Got a bar in here, I think. I fancy a bar. Let's see, what have I got in my box of tricks? Yeah, we're gonna go for a bar, there we go. Get that into me, that's 1 portion. All right, what's next then? I'm gonna go for a bit of real food, I think. Another banana. How do I open it? Oh, it's a bit mouldy. Another portion. All right, what next? Energy gel. Oh, keep on eating. What next? More food. Bit of brioche. Hey, how's it going? Yep. And don't forget, take your rubbish home. Bananas, energy bars, rice cakes, gels, all down the hatch. 2 portions every hour. Per hour, a rider should take in 60 to 90 grams of carbohydrates by means of easily digestible foods such as sports bars, gels, and drinks. Some riders also prefer regular foods such as gingerbread or bananas, but this is rather taken in the first part of the ride. Ha! Tell you what, that was some race. Went on a solo breakaway. As if the competition didn't even exist. I was absolutely flying. Won it, obviously. Don't know what happened to the rest of the race, but anyway, I did eat all my food. All finished, kept on top of the nutrition. Now I think I've got to get to the team bus and have a recovery shake. And the benefit of a recovery shake is not just proteins and carbohydrates, it's also compensating for all the body water that you'd lost through sweat during the race, especially on those hot days, which you do often get in the Tour de France. Right, so I have nipped back to my kitchen because my bus, unfortunately, does not have the greatest cooking facilities like other World Tour squads. So I've come back to the kitchen to rustle up my post-race snack. And I say snack, this is actually a solid meal. It's 765 calories worth. And that is in order to allow nutrients to be continuously available to the body so that the body can achieve optimal recovery. Riders will continue to take on board food, nutrients, extra energy and liquids until right up to the point when they go to bed. It's all about refueling. So better rustle up this 765 calorie snack.
It's quite hard doing this with one hand, I'm not gonna lie, but this is a one-man show.
Okay, this is basically a proper meal eaten straight after the race on the team bus. And to be honest, this was always my favourite meal of the day. I love that time on the team bus. It's one thing I do miss about racing, if I'm honest. You had the radio playing, a bit of relaxing music going, and you had a lovely meal to eat and munch on the way to the hotel. And I think that's key because riders will have quite a big break from when the race finishes to when they get their evening meal. And if they don't get that food in them before their massage, before they check into their hotel room, before they have that long drive sometimes to the race hotel, then you can quite easily get hungry, and you really don't want that to happen, especially at a long race such as the Tour de France, where you really want to keep those nutrients entering your body, you want to keep recovering, and you want your muscles to be ready for the next day's racing. If you think I've just eaten 2,600 calories. But when I was racing, I remember just being hungry the whole time. Now I just feel stuffed already.
Oh, post-race meal finished.
Okay, so I've arrived at my race hotel, I've had my post-race meal, and this is the moment where I'd get a nice massage, really. So I've just been looking for my brother-in-law, Nigel, to give me a massage, but doesn't appear to be here. He did say he'd give me a massage, so I'm just gonna have to do without, basically. Just gonna have to imagine that I got a massage. It's just, you know, the challenges I'm contending with, really. But what can you do? Anyway, bit of time to recover now before dinner later. Just another big meal. Get myself ready for another hot stage in the Tour de France. Right, dinner now, and guess what? More carbs, more protein, keeping that food train going for another big day in the mountains tomorrow. 1,090 calories for dinner. Those Trek-Segafredo riders must have a big stomach. Right, better get cracking in the old kitchen. On the menu for dinner, we have 1 bowl of tomato soup with vermicelli, 200 grams of white fish, 125 grams uncooked weight of quinoa, 250 grams of grilled vegetables, 1 piece of homemade apple pie.
Right, first meal of dinner, bowl of soup, tomato soup with some vermicelli. Scrummy.
Okay, moving on to the main course for dinner now, and I've got some quinoa, so slow release carbohydrates and plenty of carbohydrates again. Also some white fish, stocking up on the proteins once more, And I tell you, an absolute load of veg, 250 grams of grilled vegetables. Oh, better get it into me. I've also got some apple pie for pudding.
That was a lot of vegetables. And a lot of carbs, and a lot of proteins. Stuffed.
Oh, I am stuffed now. That was a solid dinner. Enjoyed that though. Apple pie was really tasty actually. But the eating does not stop there because I have another snack before I go to bed. Oh, right. Time for my post-bed snack. No, not post-bed, that'd be in my dreams. Right, time for my pre-bed snack. And I'll tell you what, this isn't a snack either. This is absolutely massive. Look at this. It's absolutely huge. 250 grams of strawberries. I think I'd turn into a strawberry if I ate this on the Tour de France. Anyway, I'm going to turn into a strawberry now because it's all going in my stomach. But it's also got 250 grams of high protein yogurt. So getting more protein in just before bed just to keep that muscle recovery going. And if you can't find a high protein yogurt, then a good little tip is to get some natural yogurt and just add some whey protein and mix it in. 30 grams should do it. And just a nice little protein top up before bed. Right, guess I better get this into me then. Normally I'd have quite a few snacks actually. When I was racing, this would definitely be my naughty hour. And I'd like to kind of sit in bed, read a book, watch Netflix. But seeing as I'm not racing anymore, I've got GCN Race Pass up on the TV. Well, hey. Right now, I really am stuffed. Time for some rest and some sleep because we've got another big day of riding and eating tomorrow. Thanks again to Scheirlynck and Trek-Segafredo for the diet plan and especially Enivit for all the race food. Got me round, it got me round. Eating is just as much a part of the Tour de France as the racing, really. You've got to keep on top of your nutrition, keep on shoveling it in, really. And it's incredible to see what riders actually put themselves through and how their stomach can take all that food. I think, to be honest, for myself, I'm going to have a rest day tomorrow. I think I'm going to be on a juice detox diet or something. But for the pro riders at the Tour, they'll be doing it all over again, day in, day out for 3 weeks straight. It's pretty impressive. So that is a Tour rider's diet in a day. Reckon you could eat all that for 3 weeks straight? Still enjoy rice at the end of it? Let me know in the comments section below. What do you reckon to my Tour rider's diet? Did enjoy eating it all though, to be honest. Right, thanks for watching everyone. See you soon.